We just wrapped up one of our late season food plots here in Ohio, and man, I tell you, when we're thinking and strategizing about late season food plots, we put a lot of thinking into it. We're trying to keep these plots close in and around bedding areas, because that time of year when it gets cold, gets later in the year, these deer don't want to travel and waste any more calories than they have to. So they're usually bedding pretty close to these spots right here. And this one right here is right on top of, we call it Thorn Knob, but it sits right up on top of this hill. We got a big bedding area just off the back side. So we can slip in, and those deer are gonna be bedded close here. They're gonna show up in the daylight, and they're not having to travel a long ways. Another thing that we like to think about too when we're thinking about late season food plots is what kind of blend that we're gonna plant for those. This one right here was a turnip rape blend that we just put in the ground. And usually we're either planting that late season brassicas like the rape, the turnips, and or some grain like corn or beans, something that's going to put off, number one, a lot of tonnage late season, but also the right kind of carbohydrates and stuff that they really need that time of year when it is cold and they're burning a lot of calories. So another point on the late season stuff is making sure that you're planting it at the right time, getting it in the ground. So try to time it 45 to 60 days before that first frost, depending on what part of the country that you're in. You know, another thing that we like to think about and try to do on these late season plots whenever we're mapping them out is pick places that we can get quite a bit of food in the ground. When the food starts running low late in the year, you're really sucking in and pulling a lot of deer into these late season plots. So we like to have a lot of food in there, a place they're not gonna just browse down super quick. So like I said, we're looking at 1.5 acre, 2 to even 3 to 4 acre plots for these late season plots. Another strategy that we've been using the last couple of years, whenever we're thinking about late season, we wanna make sure that no doubt we have plenty of food left, so we're not losing our deer to all of our neighbors and they're getting strung out and going to other food sources. So what we've done in the past couple of years is we've actually went in and put the Hooyman electric fence system up. So we make sure that we're ensured that we're gonna have food right there where we need it. At least part of the food plot is gonna be good all the way into the late season and gonna have a ton of food in there. So that's one strategy too that we've relied on heavily the last couple of years on these late season plots.